4, 3, 2, that's time. I got to you that money. My dreams come true. My life.
We got this thing basically together last night. Hopefully we'll have some video footage. I didn't get to record a lot. TJ probably did, so you can check out his channel. I'll put it in the description. But I mean, you can see we did a custom full downpipe, full exhaust. Manifold had to be modified a lot. It's got the 45mm towel. Actually, I'm sorry, not towel. Turbo Smart wastegate. Completely custom intercooler piping. You can see the Garrett right there. This ball bearing baby. And we basically had to, last night, we forgot about the plugs on the injectors. So we went ahead and stole the plugs off of my R32 GTR and we put them on this bad boy. Those are actually the injectors that I had on the car anyways. And then the Turbo Smart race port blow-off valve as well. Looks good. And then the IAT sensors. So this thing's gone a long way. Really dig the fitment of the intercooler. It looks really good. And what we got left to do today, TJ is at Nissan, so I'm going to be doing a couple things, helping try to finish up so we can get this baby going. Let me get the flashlight real quick. So last night I was wiring in the ECU for the wideband, and then today I'll be doing the IAT sensor as well. So here's the fuel setup. So we have 2 Bosch 44 pumps and a AM, I believe 320 intake. So we have the feed intake that's going to the surge tank right here, and this is going to be fed with 8 AN, 6 AN return, and then the Bosch 44. I mean, this fuel system's very overkill. I mean, this is probably like easily in the 1,000 horsepower range for fuel setup, so he shouldn't have any problems at all with fuel. But he is going to be running flex fuel as well, so he'll be running E85 with this setup. So all we got to do left is fix this wiring, not wiring issue, but wiring that we got going on here. We got 2 relays that he's running on it, so we're just going to finish up the wiring and then hopefully start this bad boy here in a little bit. So we go ahead and finish recording a little bit, give y'all an update, and we have some customer stuff that we need to get done, so we'll be doing that. This is the Kensai tandems. These are freaking sweet wheels. You saw the Kensai KP or KNPs that were on the R32, or that are going to be on the R32, and these are going to be going on the 33. So super sweet wheel. This is their like tribute wheel for the R34. As you can see, the 6-spoke, and I really like the design. It looks super cool. Really high quality. I like how they do the engraving, or the I don't even know what you call that, but how it comes out. I really like that look, and then the color and the design is just sweet. So we really like these wheels. We'll be having a set of courses that'll be here pretty soon as well, so we'll be getting those, but stay tuned for more of that, guys. We'll be having a video on that as well. We do sell these wheels on Sokudo Performance website, so if you would like a set, hit us up and we'll hook you up with a deal, especially with shipping. So stay tuned for that, and let's go ahead and get into it. Alright guys, we are back with an update. We got most of the fuel finished up, the fuel line. So you can see this is going to be a general mock-up with a fuel setup. So it'll be kind of tucked in the corner there, and then we have the feed lines and the return lines coming out, and then all of the wiring's just kind of tucked. So back here is where everything happens. That's where all the fuse is going to be, or the fuses and the relays and the battery. So we just got to tuck it in. I'm going to make sure this looks good, and then we'll go ahead and finish this side up. And then as soon as we're done with this, we will work on the IAT wiring. That's pretty easy. It's only 2 wires with signals going to the ECU. And then once we have that done, then hopefully TJ will probably be off. We can go ahead and hook up the ECU and the laptop and try to fire this thing up. So we'll see. It's going really well so far. I do like the way that surge tank looked. Looks really cool, really sleek, and the AN lines in black always look awesome. So stay tuned for a little bit more on this. We will get it started today, and we'll go ahead and record it when we do it. Sorry, I look like I just rolled out of bed. I literally did. It's like 5:30 in the morning, and it's Sunday. So we're gonna take advantage of the morning and work on the R32 and get the motor back in. Hopefully, probably not today, more likely tomorrow. But we're gonna go ahead and get the engine piece back together. I got some replacement turbos for this car. You can't really see in there too well, but this thing lost an exhaust wheel, and it looks like it's got a pretty short life in it. So I mean, we don't want to put the engine back and have to completely replace that turbo in the car, so we'd rather do it now. So I got some brake cleaner and some stuff like that. I'm gonna clean the car up, clean the engine up, clean the valve covers, paint those, and then just put it all back together. So that's the goal for this morning. Get this thing back together this week so we can take it to Dallas. So I'll be recording some of this, guys. Hopefully everything goes well on it. Hopefully it's not too bad. I'm gonna go ahead and replace a lot of these vacuum lines. As you can tell, they're just 30 years old almost, so it'd probably be a good idea. But let's get to it. Progress here so far. As you can see, we got the block painted. We have the turbo line, the oil, and the coolant feed back together. And we went ahead and cleaned up the block, like I said, painted it. We also cleaned up the turbos, and then we painted the valve covers. We just used the crinkled black, something quick. I'm sure eventually down the road we'll get like a pro job done to it, but for now this looks fine. Just black, so just to get it back together. So I'm gonna go ahead and work on the Subi now. So I'm gonna go ahead and stop on this thing, but we're hoping to get all this done today, at least put back together. Get the valve covers back on, turbos on. This is the old throttle body intake pelham that I have. This is on this that came on this car. I do have my other one that I'm going to be replacing anyways, so I'll probably go ahead and throw the other one since it's painted and stuff on this setup, and go ahead and get started. So, what up, guys? So we are back after a long day. We've been here for like 16 hours, but TJ has got the R33 running, and it's a monster. Oh, really? Some clips of TJ's car. So TJ's car is basically done. We got the tuning issue worked out. So like I said earlier, here is the R32. This is what's going to be taking place of the Supra. So we are getting ready to stab the engine in hopefully tonight. We got to go ahead and finish up getting all the lines ran correctly. Making sure everything's sealed, because if this thing does not seal properly, getting to everything down here is a huge pain. So we're going to try to make sure all that works out. Go ahead and down here make sure all the coolant lines are in correctly, the vacuum lines, the fuel lines, and then we're going to go ahead and drop it, get the clutch back on it. Then we got the transmission over there, so we're going to go ahead and take the subframe off the car, drop the subframe, and then go ahead and jack up the car and then drop it from underneath. So that's definitely the goal for the car. We're going to go ahead and try to get it out tonight if possible, and if we can do that, then we will be super happy. So let's go ahead and get to it. What's up, guys? So a little frustrated right now, but I guess that's bound to happen. So I had to take the turbo off, front turbo off. Thankfully, these old lines are pretty forgiving. but I forgot to put on the dang motor mount, so I had to take that off. And then while I'm at it, I'll probably go ahead and fix the AC because it's really compact there. But go ahead and try to get that in, and then once we get that all figured out, then we can go ahead and get the turbo back on, run the rest of the lines. I had to take all the lines off, so that's about a waste of 30 minutes there, but that was my problem. Luckily, on this side, I remembered that the knock sensors weren't hooked up, so I was able to get that on there. So hopefully, once we get that together, it's buttoning up the lines on that side and then getting it ready to go. So that's an update for now. I'm gonna go ahead and get back at it, and then I'll update y'all here in a little bit. All right, guys, about 30 minutes since my last update, and we are still at it. We went ahead and got the turbo back on, routed, charge pipe, O2 sensors, engine mounts, and so we're kind of going through everything here. We're about to finish routing the coolant lines to the front, and then we'll be able to finish up this side, and then hopefully start getting ready to bolt the transmission and everything onto it. So we still got a little ways to go. So I'm gonna give you an update before we start putting this baby in. So as you can see here, this cluster coming on under here, there's hoses everywhere. Part of this coolant, part of it's vacuum, part of it's fuel, blah blah. Trying to remember where half this stuff goes, and it is not fun. So hopefully, once we're done with this here in a minute, we just have a few left to put clamps on. These three right here actually, and then once we're done with that, we're going to go ahead and try to get the motor off of this right here, and then we can go ahead and try to mate, get the clutch flywheel on, and then go ahead and try to mate everything. Guys, it is 2:19 in the morning. We got the transmission connected to the engine. It wasn't really too hard. We just did it on the ground here where it was flat. Well, I did it on the ground where it was flat, and basically just manned it in there, but it wasn't really that bad. I'm sure this is the 5-speed, so I'm sure the 6-speed, the get rags are a little worse, but I am like super drained, ready for this thing to be in there. Tomorrow it will be, so hopefully we can see that in there tomorrow. Go ahead and get everything set up. So good night, guys. I'm going to bed. What is up, guys? Welcome back to the video. Today is like day 3 of messing with this off and on, and we have the engine on the subframe, and we're about to be ready to drop the car onto the engine and the subframe. So super stoked, guys. I think once I see this thing in there bolted back up how it's supposed to be, I'm gonna be really excited. So one thing I forgot, boys, we got an engine in this bad boy. So we are making some progress. Everything went pretty smooth. Had a little bit of issues trying to get the subframe to line up correctly, but I don't know if you can tell, but my face has probably got like crap all over it. My arms, I always try to start clean, and then eventually I had to jump into it, and I end up getting dirty. So anyways, guys, so we are making progress. We got the engine in. Next, I'm about to go grab some coffee with Sam, get a little pep real quick, and then start back on it. Well, guys, so the engine is finally in, transmission's in, the subframe's connected, all the suspension components are connected. We are making some progress. So tomorrow, I still got to put the radiator in, run the Hikis back, run all the intercooler piping, the charge piping, the intake piping, get all the fluids in it, make sure everything's connected, then hopefully start up and be able to just, I probably am going to go ahead and put a wideband on it, so I want to make sure everything's good as far as just air fuel. Won't be able to monitor anything else, like we don't have an IS-tuning or anything like that on it, so we'll go ahead and just stick with that. Hopefully everything's fine. It seems like it would be. I don't see why not. Everything's going to basically be stock on it, so we'll go with that. Hot side put together all the way to the air box, and we're just working on the Hikis. We're having some issues with the fitment right here, getting our hands in there. That's kind of being a pain, but once the Hikis is done, it's tightening up the fuel lines and
oil feed lines, and then once that's done, basically just going in and making sure everything's good to go. So we don't have a lot of room or a lot of stuff left. Only issue is we have to get ready for the show, so it looks like we're going to be on hold on the project till we get back. So we won't be taking this with us, but we do look forward to being able to work on it when we get back. Hopefully we'll be able to make some progress and get it running fairly easily and soon. But we got some customer cars to work on, so that's priority right now. So yeah guys, I appreciate watching the video. Hopefully you like this one. It's a little update about everything we're doing. Hopefully we'll get more done to the black car here in the next couple days or next couple weeks. But yeah, tonight I'm just going to go ahead and chill, do some stuff for the shop, and then get ready for the show. So you guys take it easy.